But it
If I
wasn't
have
just a
to
meme, sir.
create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana, because you guys are completely letting Kamala Harris coast.
You just said that this is a story that you
Yes.
created.
I got to ask you this question because as someone who is from the Republican Party and you're seeing Trump come in and attack fake news, what's your take on the JD Vance comment? If we need to make up stories to get people's attention, that's what we're going to do. Like, we all know a lot of politicians do that, but to hear someone say that on a news network, like, what's your take that it's that blatant now that like we're just going to say what we need to say to win and that's it?
Well, it triggers something in me that's much deeper, which is a bit of a fear, to be honest with you, because, you know, we've always had this feeling in this country that if somebody would say something like that, that there's an adult that's going to come along and say, you can't say that, or no, we can't really do that, right? But the reality is the adults are the ones doing it now. It's Donald Trump, it's JD Vance. And when JD Vance says we can make up a story, and that's not the front page of every newspaper, we've become numb to the outrage. And, you know, and I get it, the human condition, we don't want to read about every crazy thing Donald Trump says every day, but we also can't grow numb to that as a society. And what that triggers in me, the fear it triggers in me, is a concern I have that I've been unwilling to entertain, but I'm kind of worried about, is that in some cases, when you talk about like the migrants eating cats and dogs story or whatever the outrage of the day is, that the people spreading it may not actually believe it anyway, but they may not care. And that to me is much more frightening than somebody that actually believes migrants are eating their neighbors' cats and dogs than somebody that's saying, yeah, it's not true, but I don't care because the only thing that matters to me is raw power. And so, yeah, it's frightening to me. It's why JD Vance went from being this kind of conservative icon hero to a complete clown because, you know, he called out Donald Trump in 2016. Now he is Donald Trump. And I'll just say to everybody, you know, look, like recommit yourself to truth. You know, that's the key. Just recommit yourself to truth. And it doesn't have to mean agree like my truth or your truth, but just recommit yourself to saying, I'm going to believe truth. And all this other stuff shakes out when that happens because you won't be abused. You won't be taken advantage of. And just like happened at the IFB, when they would abuse your fear to maintain control, that's what is done in politics every day. And we have to reject that. And we're the only ones that can.